If you've never planted bulbs before, you're in for a real surprise and a real delight next spring. I'm going to show you how to do it. First of all, you want to start out with really good quality bulbs. You want to take a look at them, make sure there's no soft spots or rot spots on the bulb. A little bit of spotting is okay, but the bulb should be nice and firm and in good condition. Always remember that this part, you always plant the bottom of the bulb in contact with the soil. This is called the basal plate, and that's where the roots are going to come from. So always bottoms down, tops up when you're planting bulbs. When it comes to planting depth, the good rule of thumb to remember is 3 times the width of the bulb. So I've got a tulip bulb here that's probably about 1.5 inches, so I'm going to put those down about 5, maybe 6 inches deep. You can plant them too deep, you can plant them too shallow. They're pretty forgiving, but basically 3 times the width of the bulb is the depth that you want to plant them in. I've got some really good well-draining soil here. If you're using soil that's got a lot of clay in it, or if it's heavy with a lot of sand or whatever, you're going to want to work some organic matter in there, whether it's mushroom compost and peats or your own compost, just to lighten up the soil a little bit, because of course with bulbs the key thing is drainage. Drainage is very important with bulbs. You don't want them getting wet feet in the ground over the winter. So I've got about 9 or 10 bulbs here, and it's always best to plant your bulbs in mass, because you get a much better color show when you've got lots of bulbs to plant and lots of bulbs to flower in the spring. So I'm going to dig down about 6 inches here. With daffodils, you're going to go a little bit deeper, maybe about 8 inches. With crocus, a little bit more shallow because they're a smaller bulb, obviously. And before I plant these, I want to point out that on the backs of all the packaging and all the tags, you've got all the information that you need as far as the height, the width of planting, and when they bloom. So I'm going to throw a little bit of bone meal down in here, the bottom of the hole, to feed the bulbs. Bone meal's got lots of phosphorus in it, so that feeds the roots. Then I'm going to stick the bulbs in just like that. I've got them about 3 or 4 inches apart. Bottoms down, tops up. I think I can probably squeeze one more in there. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8. I've got 10 bulbs in there, and I'm going to cover them back up fairly loosely. There's no need to stomp down on the soil here. And then you water them in afterwards. And in about 6 months' time, we've got a miracle on our hands.